Justin, if you were a king, how would you rule your kingdom?
Oh man, what a question. I think I'd rule
I
with an
was
iron fist.
that's what I was thinking. I would just be an absolute despot, just absolute piece of garbage. I would show up to the peasants' farm. I would look at their crops. I would spit on them. I'd be like, "This is terrible. This is pathetic." And then
I'm
I'd
not a
ride away on my horse and
madman.
I'd set their farm on fire.
What the hell? I'm thinking more just like ridiculous, like ask like someone to fetch me the most obscure item and he'll come back like 3 years later, he's like, oh, I don't want it anymore.
No, no, no. I'd be much worse. But I'd also like be good to like maybe 10% of the people so that I can't be like gaslighting everybody else. And then, I'd be like, what? No, the King Rob's not that bad. He gave me a PS5. And
No,
then
I'm
they'd
just
be
gonna be
like,
outright bad. Like I'm just gonna have a harem. Those are the only people I'm gonna be good to.
oh no, I'm going to be awful, but I'm going to pretend to be good for some people so that they like tell the people that I'm awful to that I'm not that bad.
You've had a recent shtick of just manipulating the media is sort of your superpower lately on
That's
everything that we
exactly
do.
what my kingdom would be built on. It would be built on manipulation of the facts.
I expect nothing less of you, frankly.
Although I'd probably get murdered in about 7 years. There'd be intense regicide.
You think you'd last 7 years?
Yeah, I mean, you build up the reputation because I think at first the peasants like saying that I burnt their farm down single handedly. I think they might not believe it, but the more I do it, I think word would spread, and I can't give out enough PS5s to these people to make them happy.
Welcome to S Class, the highest tier in podcasting. Join with me today is the despot of despair. It's Robert.
You see, that's how I want to be remembered as a king.
And with you always is your host. Robert, what is my rank?
You are the peasant of the pasture. Peasant of the pasture.
The number one ranked king, the peasant of the pasture.
No,
I'm
you're not
Justin.
king of anything.
Robert, what are you talking about today?
If it wasn't obvious by now, we're talking about ranking of kings, also known as what is the Japanese name?
Something ranking Osama,
Osama ranking. Yeah,
not Asuma, not the guy from Naruto.
we're not positive on that.
I mean, I just finished it like maybe an hour ago. I have
Yeah, and thoughts. I mean,
I'm
that's what we're here to talk about.
it's hard to okay, so first off, spoiler warning, we're getting straight into this as
Yeah,
always when we do these ranking episodes. I think the ending was like all over the place. It's like
but it's
insane.
it's not an ending. It's the ending of season one.
Right. I thought the last 3 or 4 episodes were just like a hot mess. I enjoyed them, but I'm just like face palming half the time because I was like, aren't some people getting off a little bit too scot free for everything
I'm
that has just
sorry, but
happened?
Moranjo has committed crimes against humanity worth of several generations, and she's just getting away with it and getting tossed in the air, and they're celebrating and having a good time.
I have a list of the crimes, and this might not even be all inclusive. So she kills the first queen. The invasion kills multiple people during when she kills the first queen. She does a second invasion, gets the worst underworld villains to attack the kingdom a second time, tries to kill the new queen, and then she takes away Daida's body and gives it to King Boss. And then they're like, oh yeah, just become the new queen, the new mistress, whatever.
She's queen now.
Well, yeah,
That's
at the
the thing.
very, she's a new queen. Yeah. I
How
have
did she get away with this?
a, what did you tweet out the other day? It was excellent.
That she must have Saul Goodman as her lawyer to get away with all of this.
It,
It's
it
ridiculous.
it's so stupid. And another part of this that I really wasn't fond of, and some people are like, oh, it's ancient Europe. It's fine. Like, it's that type of setting. She never gave an inkling that she even likes Daida.
No, she just kind of manipulated him into drinking his own dad, and then he refused, and then she still
That
forced
sounds
him to drink his dad.
that sounds dirty.
I mean, it was disgusting.
It's pretty gross. He literally grinds him into a blender. But
Yeah, it was pretty messed up.
even when he's like, this is the woman I'm gonna marry, she at no point says, oh my god, like I'm so happy. She's just like, I'm gonna try and do better. Like,
She was like, this is probably the best case scenario for me.
and she's also like at least 40, if not 50. And
Yeah,
he's
and I
like
think Daida's like 12, 13.
12 or 13, yeah.
Yeah. And once again, no question.
You really got to question Daida's judgment and why he's and how they let him be the king twice.
Twice. Actually, 3 times.
3 times?
Boss dies, Daida becomes king. Boss takes over Daida, Boss is king again. Boss dies again from Bocchi. Daida becomes king. Daida gives the crown to Bocchi. Bocchi gives the crown back to Daida.
Oh, the last episode he gets crowned twice.
Yeah.
uh,
Third time's the charm.
I mean, Daida's a piece of shit too. Like, so many people got away a little bit too scot-free. Like, Daida tries to kill his brother, sends an assassin after him. Domas literally throws Bocchi off of a cliff. Appius, the spearman, betrays everybody to simp for Miranjo and literally watches as like Darush is getting attacked by like demon dogs, and it's just like, yeah, this is fine, like this is okay. And at the very end, they're all just like throwing him up in the air, like this is great, like we're all friends again. I'm like, would I really want all these people in my court?
Right? They all, like half of them tried to kill Bocchi.
Like only Darush and Bebin, the guy who you think is evil from the beginning, are the only like kosher guys out there.
I mean, Dorsch does end up banging Boss's wife. So
he
that was
fucking earned it.
He definitely earned it.
He deserves best girl.
She's the only girl. It's either Hilling, Queen Hilling, or the murderous Mirror. I mean, the options aren't great.
At this point, wow, there really are no females in this cast.
I mean, honestly, of all the choices, I'd probably choose Despa.
What a beautiful man Despa is.
Despa's fantastic. Despa is the mentor character done so phenomenally well.
Yeah, and he's so I've been shitting on it a little bit. Because the last few episodes were a bit of a mess, but like everyone is so nuanced. Like they're very well developed. They're not just like, this is good, this is evil. This is like Despa's this greedy, cowardly piece of shit mentor, but he also loves Bocchi.
Oh yeah, it's so genuine, and he clearly loves his brother, even though his brother's a freak.
Which one?
I guess the both of them.
I love the older brother. He makes me laugh every time.
They're great.
King Desha. He's just so, he feels like an American cartoon character.
He really does. That's the thing with the whole vibe of the show does not feel very anime. And I like that. I really like that about it.
Yeah.
It's got a unique tone to it. And yes, the power of friendship is strong in this series, but it doesn't happen without your friends trying to kill you first.
I think, I mean, the only friend that's like feels pretty legit is Kage. Everyone else, like, I'm not trusting them with anything important, frankly.
No, what about the guy with the crossbow?
Oh, what the fuck's his name? I'm not trusting him because he's useless.
Yeah, but at least he hasn't tried to kill Bocchi.
Yeah, he's a good boy, even
which
though he's
not many people can say.
That's a very small list of folks. I
mean, Bebin was training Daida, so he indirectly was, training Daida to kill Bocchi.
But he was
so
training Daida. I'm okay with Bebin. Because he's training Daida because he's like, I think this kid's the better king, like probably, which is sort of reasonable at the beginning of the series. Because you have Bocchi, who's like this really quiet, mute, deaf kid who like you don't think is capable, and he proves everybody wrong. But like I kind of get why he thinks Daida's more capable. But he's not like trying to kill Bocchi. He protects Bocchi all the time secretly. He gives Kage.
It's only because of the snakes.
What's that?
It's only because of the snakes,
which he controls
for some reason.
Yeah.
I just never really got where the snakes came in.
I mean, if that's what you're worried about, the gateway to hell and the guy who shoots lightning and it's like a part demon, but not actually.
I have no problem with that. I just don't understand why there's 2 snakes and 1 headless snake.
That was okay, I thought. Well, he got chopped up when he was like a baby.
Yeah, but why were they 3 snakes?
It's just.
And where's the missing snake?
His head got chopped off.
These are the answers that I'm looking for with this series.
You're ridiculous. I feel like I've voiced my opinion. Did you have as soured opinions towards the end as I did?
I think the first 2 episodes were interesting, if not a little slow. And
Mhm.
then the next maybe 10 or 11 episodes were phenomenal, where I just like could not stop watching.
Totally agree.
And then we kind of re-enter the battle for the kingdom, which isn't bad, but I think it slows down again a bit and gets a little messy.
I think the Oaken fight ruins so much of the pace.
I agree with you on that. Yes. I think they unfortunately made him so overpowered that nothing was interesting when Oaken was involved.
Yeah, and yeah, I think the problem is not only is it too long, but then like there's no stakes involved because Oaken's fucking everybody up. Like he's murders like at least 8 prominent characters, I feel like. And then Boss just shows up and heals everybody.
Right. Yeah. And ah, that's another problem with the tension too, is like there were at least 4 times where Queen Hilling was like, well, that's the last of my magic. I can't heal anybody anymore.
By the
Proceeds to heal
way,
17 people.
secret potion in my back pocket every time. It's kind of like the Dragon Ball revival situation where it's like there's no like this is such a tense series in the beginning, and then it just becomes like no one's gonna die now.
Once you realize that everybody gets a sensu bean every 5 minutes, yeah, the tension kind of loses us.
The only person who gets messed up at all in the long run is Darush, who loses a leg and an eye, but at the same time he gets Queen
He's not
Healing.
bad. I'll take that trade off,
I'll
honestly.
take the trade off in a heartbeat. But like besides that, everyone is like, oh no, we almost died. Healed.
Stump leg, missing eye, Queen Hilling. I think he made up better than anyone, honestly. Yeah.
If you're talking it like who's came out net positive, obviously it's him.
Definitely Dorsch.
Oh, I mean, what else is there to say? I guess I love the lore. The world is amazing.
The world has potential to be amazing. My problem is the show is called Ranking of Kings, and there were maybe 6 kings ranked over the course of the series, if that.
I don't think so. I think it's literally Desha who gets ranked twice. Uh, Boss gets ranked as number 7, and
Taida
what's
gets,
that ranked like 94. I think that's it.
yeah, but then
Technically,
we also see the king that goes mad
there's a couple
and
of those.
kills his whole family. Um,
His son,
right, yeah, but his son a king?
Kingbo, the one at the very
Yes,
last
okay, that's right.
episode.
Yeah, yep, yeah.
I have. Can I throw something in there before we talk about the rest of the rankings? Where the fuck did Kingbo come from in the final episode? And why did he know that Oaken was inside that rock? Like, how would he have known that?
That's a decent point. I guess the assumption he made was he saw Despa transporting it, and he knew, Okin came from the underworld, and he'd be involved with Despa.
That's a reach.
It's
That's
a
like
stretch,
that's a Bikram yoga stretch right there.
especially because he was pretty dead for a while.
Yeah, he was not. Yeah, he was pretty messed up from the fight with Oaken. Like I don't know, a couple days ago, and he just shows up, cuts a rock in half, and he's like, "Fuck you, Oaken," throws you in the ocean. Obviously, it's gonna have plot repercussions later on, but it didn't. It felt like a what's it called? Uh, a plot device. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely them realizing, how are we going to progress this Oaken plot? We need like a good extra character to jump in here. Let's have this dead guy get involved. He needs some revenge anyway.
Yeah, I thought he was dead, but
I well, we soon realize that nobody dies in this
nobody
series.
dies. It's
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 like
worse
One
than
Piece; they only die in flashbacks.
it's worse than One Piece right now. Literally, no one has died except for the mom.
But that was in a flashback.
Don't be a mom in this series. You're not gonna last very long.
No, right? We only see 3 dead characters. 2 of them are mothers, and one is Boss. Finally, actually being dead.
What are your opinions on Boss?
You see, throughout the entire series, you don't really know what his plan is or what his aim is. And then you realize he also didn't know what his plan is or what his aim is. He was just trying to protect Baranjo. And then it's just like, this guy is kind of a worthless sack of garbage because he was going to kill both of his sons, one of his two of his wives,
Two of his
technically,
wives. Yeah.
all for her, just because she suffered a little bit. Okay, more than a little bit, but she suffered in her childhood.
But he loved her also, like in some weird, like, oh, she's my daughter, now she's my lover type of way.
I never got lover vibe. I always thought it was paternal, or at least I hoped it was paternal.
I don't think so, man. At least she obviously had feelings for him, right?
Yeah, I think that was kind of
Some
made clear.
yeah, some sort of Freudian thing going on there. But I thought that, like, I don't know, maybe giants' lifespans, that kind of stuff doesn't matter. I mean, clearly he had a bunch of babies with other women, and it doesn't seems like a polygamous type of giant type of thing going on.
I still don't
Perhaps
understand how he had a baby with Queen Hilling.
that that's a doujin being written right now.
Unless he's overcoming for a lot of other things. I don't know what's going on in Bosse's love life, but
Why do you think he carries a club that's that big?
he's overcompensating for something. He has to be.
Uh,
I would say top three characters are Bochi, Despa, and Hilling for me.
yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. I think Bebin is quite good as well, but he just doesn't get enough screen time. But he's sort of puppeteering a lot of this. Uh, one thing that was going on when Boss like kind of reveals his intentions, I was like, this whole thing could have just been sorted out if they just communicated better. Like
I mean, yeah.
the whole thing is sort of like she loves Boss. Miranda loves Boss so much, but she can't tell him, and he's like either incredibly dense or something like that he doesn't get it. And then she's like, "Yeah, I'll fucking destroy countries for you." And he's doing things for her to make her happy, but that's not actually what he wants either. Because they could have just kind of rode off into the sunset and been happy together.
Probably was a better solution than murdering countless people. Yes, I would say. Once again,
Arguably.
I'm not a lawyer, but I would say that there was probably a better route to figuring this whole thing out.
I mean, as the despot of despair, Rob, I thought you might actually like the previous option more.
Look, I might be a terrible evil king, but I wouldn't murder everybody for just the reason of selfishness and because I'm thirsty. Like
I feel like
thirsty for daddy boss. Because ultimately that's what Miranjo's doing. She's
pretty
committing
much.
genocide because she's a little horny.
She's got the get out of jail free card. Like she's got like the Vegeta card, essentially.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good point because Vegeta once again just marries into being part of the Z Fighters. Miranjo just casually marries into being royalty even after murdering countless people. Vegeta murders countless planets. Yeah, no, it's fine. Forget about it. They're
That's
family
fine.
now.
Hey Vegeta, you want to hang out? Hey Miranjo, you want to help us out with some magic shit? Yeah, I guarantee you, season 2, she's gonna do some magic shit, gonna play a part, be really helpful. No one's gonna mention her crimes at all.
I hope she turns on them.
That would be great.
I really hope that like she has not actually grown or moved on at all. She's still evil as all hell. And she's just like, I don't know. I cannot believe you people forgave me that easily.
What are your expectations, or what are you looking forward to the most in season 2? Because I
I
did
think
cut us
it's
off a little bit.
I think it's the King Desha plot line
Yeah.
because clearly he's about to lose his mind to try to save Okan, and that it's going to be. I do wonder if it's going to end up being Despa and Okan normal now, trying to save on their other brother now,
Oh God, I hope not.
or he'll be one of the first people to be able to manipulate whatever the king's rewards are and you know survive that way. I think
I
that whole plot line is intriguing if done well.
I really want to see two things. I want to see what's inside that like treasure chest. Like I want to see all the different items, like some sort of secret item box thing that every single king gets. And I also want to see like a ranking of kings tournament.
Oh my god, this is built for a tournament.
Yeah, man. Like it's sort of, you have this jester guy going around giving people rankings, but like, why don't they just have a tournament arc?
Right, this whole thing could be Gash Bell, where it's like 100 kings battle royale.
A bunch of old powerful men in Boji and Daida. Well, Boji's not even a king anymore, so he's not even fighting.
Yeah, I don't know what Bocchi's plan is either. Him and Kage are just adventuring.
Yeah. I mean, I sort of love that. I think the adventure aspect of this is probably one of the better parts.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, my favorite part was when Bocchi and Kage were off on their own, and training with Despa, traveling with Domus, getting murdered by Domus. You know, those were the most fun parts because, like you said, the world is interesting and it has a lot of promise. But we spent half the series in the castle fighting.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? To your point, like the world and the lore, uh, the gods were fascinating, but they
That's
were just
right.
in a
Yeah.
flashback, like the gods versus the wizard humans, and it's like, oh, that's like intriguing. Like, can we learn more about them? Like, nah.
it it feels like that's the thing. As I was watching it, I thought, oh, maybe this is like self-contained. This is only like going to be this one series, like one season show, 23 episodes, that's it. But then like the more we got closer to the ending, the more plot points I saw were like clearly opened for a reason. And I was like, oh, okay, so there's definitely more to this series. But can this series be like a long running series? Because it feels like it needs to be to address a lot of the topics that it's kind of bringing up.
I think this needs to be at least like 3 seasons long, given all the
Right.
seeds that they've planted. Are
I mean,
you? Sorry, go ahead.
I know nothing about the manga, but from what I've read, not like of the manga, but like of people talking about it, it's not the anime's not that much further, or the manga's not that much further ahead of where the anime ended.
Oh, interesting.
And
Okay,
I don't know how long it's been, written or
published.
whatever. So, who knows what the timeline is for season two.
That was going to be my question to you: is would you jump into the manga from here, or are you just going to wait for the anime? Because I'm going to wait.
No, I'll just wait for the anime. I really like the way they animate fights in the series.
Yeah, and I love the kind of like sketchy vibe. It's very not anime design, very fairy tale like.
Yeah.
Um, and the openings and endings have been fantastic as well. So I'm
Oh
gonna wait
yeah.
it out.
We've gotten such fire opening and end themes, which is just key to any successful anime.
They're so oh man, I don't even know how to describe it. I wish my vocabulary was articulate enough to say like how amazing they are.
They're very melancholic. Like they set that tone of like sorrow and yearning, but like that knowledge that they've got to come out of it and that hope.
There's like a
It's
light at
really
the end
like
of the tunnel. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
They have that hope in that sadness.
It
It's
makes you
like
feel
poetry.
something. And usually, like in
Yeah.
so many anime openings are just like, yeah, fight scene, like it looks badass, but it has no heart to it. It's just like cool. And this
And
has like everything.
ultimately, with Bochi as the centerpiece of this series, I think the thing that makes it better than just a normal battle series is the heart that you get with Bochi.
Yeah, absolutely. I will be very surprised if he does not win our character of the year. We still have 9 months ahead of us, but he's a strong contender for Q1.
Now, let's think about that for a second. A character that whose dialogue is literally, you know,
Uh,
syllables, yeah,
yeah,
is fantastic. One of the most well written characters we've seen in general, and probably going to be our character of the year because of how well written they are. That is a testament to some excellent writing.
that's a great point. Doesn't say a word, but what he doesn't say is so prominent, despite never actually uttering a word.
Speaking of which, I loved in the last episode how like casually it's like, oh, Bochi can read lips, guys, and then Domus instantly forgets and starts talking smack like right in front of Bochi, and then
Domas is a
Bochi's like,
moron.
he's so
Domas
stupid.
Domas is so stupid and frustrating. Oh my goodness. Him, who do you hate more? Domas or Appius?
I think I got more frustrated with Apis.
At the end of it,
Yeah,
like Domus, I mean, the first half, Domus was the king of terrible, but the second half, Appius was like just simping so hard. And then at the end, he starts lecturing people. I'm like, Appius, you have no right to be
bro, you
lecturing.
simped for a mirror and tried to kill all of your friends with murderous like magic tigers.
And what did she even do for him besides give him like a little confidence boost? Like, oh yeah,
Exactly.
like you're doing great. Like they were never lovers. She never like seduced him or anything. She's just like, yeah, you'll be fine. Like you'll be better one day.
Yeah, you're right. I will be. Let's go murder our friends.
Yeah, like he fucking dropped everyone so fast.
You see, I think the character Daida and Miranjo honestly deserve each other because they're both pieces of absolute trash.
But they
Because,
rule a kingdom now. That's the problem.
but Domus, I get it. Like he was following the orders of his king, and they make it that he is loyal to an absolute fault. But Daida was the one that ordered that. Daida was not under any magical manipulation. Yes, like Miranjo was like, pushing him in that direction, but nobody like brainwashed him and told him you need to murder your brother. That was
I don't
his
think
choice.
I don't think anyone knows that yet except for Domas. Like I don't think Hilling would stand for that. I don't think
No,
the
I
other
feel
guys would be
like
like, yeah, he should be king if they knew
I
about it.
really hope that gets addressed in some way, shape, or form.
I don't need this like desperate housewives type of drama in season 2. Like get me something good. I want some forward progress.
I need a drama.
I want less Daida drama. Daida sucks.
Yeah, but I want him to get like what he has coming to him.
That's fair, I guess.
The problem is nobody's gonna die. I need somebody to die.
I need some stakes. Who deserved to die the most this season? Not deserved. Who should have?
It's obviously Miranjo. She she absolutely deserved it the most.
Uh who would have been more interesting though, Like that would have concluded the story and doesn't teach you anything about forgiveness. Like I think
I think Crossbow Sama.
Crossbow Sama.
that
I think
is,
Darush should have Appius and Darush should have died 4 times, I thought.
I mean, Dorsch did die 4 times. He has a stump for a leg and no eye.
Oh gosh.
You see, I think the most emotional impact of a character dying would have probably been Dorsch. Like of characters that realistically could have died.
Yeah.
But I think the one that deserved it most was
The
was
mirror.
Miranjo. I mean, come on.
Oh. We haven't even talked about the literal devil.
Oh, that's right. The devil baby that becomes murderous devil every time he grants a wish and then
That
eats souls for eternity.
that thing's terrifying. I love it.
Very, very much horrifying. Actually, speaking of that, and once again, Daida being a piece of absolute garbage,
Steals their fucking wish.
steals the wish. He didn't deserve it at all.
Has someone he's the oolong. He's the oolong of Dragon Ball season 1. Steals Emperor Pilaf's wish without consulting the team.
I mean, that was something. Like Despa's like, oh my god, I could finally save my brother.
After like 20 years of doing
Nope.
this.
No, no, come on, get out of here.
You know what? You're right. I want the drama of season 2 where Daida just gets the shit kicked out of him.
Right? This needs to become Game of Thrones.
Okay, that's my goal. Season 2, someone kick the shit out of Daida. He doesn't need to die, but he just needs to get what's coming to him.
Yeah, he needs to get beaten to a pulp. He needs to at least have a stump for a leg and a missing eye.
But he doesn't get no, he's stuck with Miranjo. He doesn't even get Queen Hilling type of.
Literally an eye for an eye.
Yeah, I'm ready for that. Is there anything else that we need to talk about? I think we've covered most of everything, Rob.
Yeah, I mean that is Ranking of Kings, a show about ranking kings with no kings being ranked.
Yeah, essentially. A total misnomer in the name. Probably the only thing worse being Bunny Girl Senpai. That is a show about not a Bunny Girl Senpai.
Yeah, after once again one episode of that, we have a Bunny Girl Senpai, never again. One episode of this, we have a kings getting ranked, and then nope, never again.
Robert, what is your ranking of the ranking of kings?
How to rank Ranking of Kings? If I were ranking the first half, I think it would probably be an A. If I was ranking solely the second half, probably a C plus. What does that add up to? I'm not really sure. I'm not good at math. I'm going to give it a B.
I think, despite everything that I've said, it still gets an A minus, just because it's so stupid. So many of the decisions that were made, but it was still entertaining. And I think the seeds that have been sown um, are interesting enough that I'm looking forward to season 2. And I've enjoyed like out of the 23 episodes, I think I enjoyed like 17 or 18 of those episodes. So even if I don't agree with the writing on some of them, I still liked it. And the world and stuff is so unique and interesting. I don't think anything else has been done like it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think I'm going to go B plus.
Okay.
I think B is, I don't, B feels too low. B plus is good.
I think for me, B is sort of like this thing's good, but it didn't leave me with any feelings. This definitely left me with some feelings, and some of them are negative, but a lot of them are also positive.
Yeah, but having negative feelings at least means you were committed to something, and
Yeah.
like, it's better than feeling nothing. If like I watched this whole show and felt nothing about it, that would be worse than being like angry about something that could have been different, or I don't know. If you're emotional about it, it means it was worth being emotional about.
Yeah, it's sort of like our Bakuman, like this is so dumb type of argument, but I still enjoyed it. Like the romance portions are like so memorable, but like this whole I almost am so happy that Miranjo gets away scot-free because it's so stupid and so funny. Even if that's not necessarily good writing.
No, I agree with you on that. And ultimately, you know, this show will probably have a lot of like characters that we rank at the end of the year when we do our, best characters, best husbandos, best waifus.
Yeah.
Because I think Bochi's going to be up there for best character. I
Hilling's
think
gonna be in a
Despa's going to be up
waifu.
there for husbando, Hilling for waifu. Like it had a lot of really great characters.
Yeah, everyone who's written in there. I mean, even Darush deserves to be in husbando tier as well. He's great.
You're absolutely right. And Miranjo is definitely an antagonist.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Like lots of well-written characters, just decisions made were not always the best.
Yeah. I think ultimately this is absolutely a series I recommend watching. It's definitely different than your typical seasonal anime. It's fun, it's engaging. It definitely keeps you guessing of who's going to do what. But at this point, we spoiled the whole thing.
I was
So
gonna say, I was like, I also recommend it, but if you made it this far in the podcast and you're gonna take our recommendation, might have done yourself a disservice.
big disservice.
Okay, Robert. Well, thank you for joining me as always on our ranking of Kings episode. Anything else you want to say to our listeners?
Yeah, B plus. I'm really still like
You're simmering
A
on it.
minus. I want to do A minus. I'm doing A minus.
You've upgraded twice.
There's too many characters that I really like.
Left quite the impression on us.
A minus.
A minus, a solid A minus. And with that said, as always, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll catch you guys next time. Rob's still thinking about it.
I am still thinking about it.
Rob has his hand on his chin, just pondering still.
A minus.
And we're done.